Well, former foster parents and a third person all arrested the past few months in a horrific child abuse case first brought to light by 5 Investigates.
2 years ago, our Kathy Curran began investigating the state system that failed several of these vulnerable children, and tonight she uncovers more red flags and more concerns.
3 people have been criminally charged since we began reporting on this case. A civil suit was filed just last week, and some child welfare advocates wonder if enough's being done for foster children to prevent this from happening again.
Did you abuse any of those children?
She's a former foster mother and registered nurse who was supposed to love and nurture the vulnerable children in her care. But Susan Bluen, her husband Ray,
Mr. Bluen, did you think this was all going to go away?
And her former boyfriend Philip Paquette,
The statutory rape of a child, 2 counts.
Are accused of abusing and torturing many of the foster children who were cycled through their Oxford home. John Williams and his brother Nathan were placed with the Bluens in the late 90s when they were young boys, already traumatized, taken away from their birth parents only to be harmed again.
What's been the harm?
We lost our childhoods, Kathy. We lost what could have been, and everyone responsible, including DCF, and everyone in the Commonwealth's administration should be ashamed.
Mr. Paquette, how could you harm an innocent child?
The alleged unspeakable crimes, child rape, beatings, being thrown in a dog cage, and more, hidden in state records and police reports for decades, until 5 Investigates began shining the light on this house full of secrets.
Subjected to a massive amount of torturous and sadistic abuse.
Putting a pillow over his head to stop Nathan from screaming.
The Bluens, they're heartless individuals. I'm wondering if I'm going to get beat, you know what I mean? And if I'm going to have to sleep in the dog cage tonight, or if they're going to try to feed me dog food. I feel like I was robbed of my childhood.
Records we obtained show many of the children told social workers and teachers they were being abused. The state's own investigations found evidence of abuse, and Ray Bluen even pleaded guilty to sexually assaulting 2 of the girls in the home in 2003. Despite these red flags and others, the Department of Children and Families kept foster kids in the Bluens' home.
These people were sick. And I didn't even know that. I thought all of it was normal because I lived with them since I was 2 weeks old.
This case reflects negligence on the part of virtually every adult that ever came in contact with these kids.
Child welfare advocate Maureen Flatley says the state and the abusers caused immeasurable harm.
The agency failed by any measure to provide these kids with safety. They're all going to experience trauma for the rest of their lives.
The victims' voices were never truly heard until 2 years ago, when we began exposing what happened inside this home. In the wake of our reporting, the state launched a review of the case. New criminal charges were filed, and other survivors came forward who say much of the harm could have been prevented by the state because they disclosed their abuse years before many of the children were placed here.
She would usually smack me across the face pretty much as hard as she could and knock me off the stool.
Michael Moore was removed from the Bluens' home in 1995 after he told a teacher that he was worried he'd be beaten over a bad report from school. He spoke to us from a Florida jail where he was serving a short sentence for bad checks.
I was terrified for myself, to be honest.
Michael remained in the system his entire childhood, never finding a permanent home, while the state allowed the Bluens to care for children for nearly 10 more years.
I'd say I'm disgusted with the state. I shouldn't have to rehabilitate myself because of the damage that somebody else did to me.
Even more troubling, our investigation found allegations of abuse involving a young girl named Jewel who was severely disabled and kept in the basement. Michael's sister Jessica told investigators Jewel had been kicked and hit by Sue Bluen, but Bluen was never charged.
Get the camera out of my face. I remember crying on the end of Jewel's bed, just praying, crying.
One of the most troubling things today is that some of the caseworkers that worked on this case still work for DCF. So any suggestion that this could never happen again is absolutely laughable.
What does the state owe these kids? There's so much damage that was done.
Everything. They owe them everything.
And a spokesperson told us DCF knows it can't undo the damage, but they're hoping to learn from these survivors. Secretary Sutters has personally met with many of them and has offered them resources. The criminal investigation launched after our reporting is ongoing, and the state has suspended Sue Bluen's nursing license. Kathy Curran, 5 Investigates.